Okay, it's 6:34 Central Time. Want to thank everyone for joining the webinar this afternoon. This is a three-part series. This is the first one of our three-part series so we can engage our online community. So during this COVID time that we can get ready for interactive football when it's time to play. So thank you for being a part of our webinar this afternoon or this evening. I want to give a special thanks before we get started, a special thanks to all our frontline workers, our nurses, our doctors who are putting their life on the line and putting themselves in harm's way so that they can save lives and so that we can all survive and thrive, not thrive, but survive through this COVID-19 pandemic. So really want to thank our nurses and doctors for what they're doing. And also want to thank the essential workers, the folks who are making sure we have our products and our services so that we can somewhat maintain our lifestyle and have what we need and be sustainable during this pandemic. So thank you for the essential workers. And also wanted to thank the parents. Parents have a lot on their plates today trying to manage the work, the home, and the kids being at home. So stay strong, parents, and keep up the great work. And for us who are in the sports industry, stay motivated, stay strong. Sports are going to come back in full force. We just have to stay focused. And during this pandemic, be ready and make sure that when it's time for the kids and the professional athletes and everyone to get out on that field to play, that we're ready to do it in a safe and fun fashion. So let's be prepared and let's have fun as much as we can in terms of preparing for a future where sports are back. And we're preparing for that because Interactive Sports Group and Interactive Football will be ready when it's time to go live and play these sports. So excited about that. So here we go. Let's start with explaining to everyone what interactive football is. And before we talk about what it is, we really have to talk about why. Why do we have interactive football and why was it created? I mean, that's the basis of everything that we're doing. So it really starts with the athlete. As many of you know, interactive football was started and birthed, and the idea came from when my oldest daughter wanted to play tackle football and didn't really want her to play tackle football because of all the injuries and whatnot. But long story short, my daughter really represents one thing, the athlete. Everything that we do at interactive football is all about the athlete. So it starts with the athlete, impacts the community, impacts equipment and whatnot, but it ends with the athlete. So the way I look at it, every athlete is treated like my daughter, someone I love, care about, just like every athlete that plays interactive football. So that's where it starts. That's our focus. So if we keep that as our bellwether, we know we're going to do well because focusing on the athlete is what it's all about. And also, when we look at what interactive and why, it's definitely about the athlete, but it's also, we looked at and said, when we look at what's in the market, you've got tackle football, of course, and we all know the health issues that are surrounded with tackle football. We love football, we love tackle football, but it does have facts and data that say that it's injury prone, and we want to make sure that we're giving our kids the safest type of football we can. We all love football. Also, fundamentals. When you look at, if you're not playing tackle, your only other option is this game called flag football, which is an awesome game, but it does lack in teaching football fundamentals because when your head's down, your eyes are down, you're not looking up, and that can cause injuries, and pulling on a flag, blowing in the wind is not fundamental to the game. But again, it is, or was, the best option in the market because of not wanting to play tackle football. But you can also play 7-on-7 touch and also 5-on-5 touch, which is out there also. But that form of football lacks game integrity. When these games, especially competitive 7-on-7, 5-on-5, if a referee misses a call, that could mean the difference between the game, right? With our technology, we saw that as an issue. And if we could make it to where that issue was addressed, we'd have a good opportunity. And this is where we have interactive football. Interactive football answers those questions in terms of that parent or that athlete that says, I love football, but I'm not going to play tackle. So we're not looking at tackle. We're looking at that athlete that wants to play an awesome form of football in a safe manner, because really 99.9% of every football athlete is not going to play on a professional level. But they will be productive members of society and the community. We want to make sure that when they're young, that we keep their bodies healthy and strong while enjoying this great game of football. We can do that, then the ones that become pro, their bodies will be stronger, they'll be faster, hopefully, but their careers should last longer because they didn't take a beating when they were younger. They were enjoying the game, learning agility, learning to enjoy the game of football. And that's what we're excited about. We have a technology that is fun, that's interactive, and we're going to talk about how it works. But that's the why. So the why is really around the athlete that we care about, just like we care about our kids. It's solving a problem that we see, and we've got the awesome solution. So interactive football, our form of football is non-tackle. It's all about touching at a certain point of the vest, on the shoulders, and also on the back. We have sensor technology where a light goes off and a buzzer goes off to denote the stop. So that's the end of play. And the beauty of that is that you don't have to worry about the injuries and the person's eyes are up. It's really a good part that's fundamental to the game. Many of us on the call played touch football growing up, right? So we know touch football is awesome, but it did lead to arguments because you couldn't verify if someone got touched or not. Well, now you can. And we're excited about bringing that innovation to market. And it's fun. We always talk about how our form of football is transparent to the game. When these athletes and these kids are playing football, our form, they're not thinking about, hey, I'm wearing gloves, or hey, I got a vest on. It's very comfortable and it's transparent. They're thinking, did I score a touchdown? How do I make this catch? How do I make this touch stop? They're thinking all the things that are about enjoying the game of football and being out with their friends and enjoying that experience. So fun, that's why we're here. And we're innovative. We have our patented dual touch technology that we developed in-house. I mean, it's clean, it works, it's going to help us maintain the integrity of the game, and it's fun. Light goes off, buzzer goes off, and it just works. So we love it, and we're glad that we're in the market with it and that it's patented and it's innovative. And it's safe. Our key thing, as I mentioned, is about keeping athletes safe. And when we make our touch tackles, or not tackles, when we make our touch stops, because we stop at the end of play, your eyes are up, which is fundamental to the game of keeping yourself safe, and your palms are open, so you're not grabbing and holding. So we help maintain and what do you call it? Create a situation where the proper sports behaviors are enhanced and promoted. And also with our technology, the technology is on the sleeve, and it's also on the back. It's not on the front because you can't beat physics, which is force equals mass times acceleration. That energy has to go somewhere. So we're encouraging the proper behaviors for an athlete to break down before they make a tackle or a touch, and make the athlete holding the ball make a sports move, an athletic move, and then the defender has to make a touch at a certain area, which then helps improve their athleticism. What we like to say is, if you can make a touch stop in our form of football, then if you decide to, when you're hitting high school, to play tackle football, you can definitely tackle somebody. Or if you're playing offense and you got a nice juke move and you can juke without being touched in our form of football, but I can guarantee you when you play tackle in high school, they won't be able to touch you. So we help that athlete get that level of athleticism worked out so that they're unstoppable if they decide to transition to a game of tackle in the future. So excited about that and doing it in a safe manner. Our equipment is smart. It's a 4-part component to interactive football. We've got the vest, which is very comfortable and it's light, which holds a module in the shoulder. We have the module itself, which is the brains, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And we have the gloves. So you wear these gloves, and each glove has a module, the right hand and the left hand, as well as the football. So all these components come together to make our equipment smart and innovative. The module, which is the brains, really brings it home, which means if you're playing offense and you're holding the ball and you're holding in the proper football form where you have it tugged to your side, the system knows that you're offense and that you have the ball. If a defender comes and tries to make a touch stop and they touch you, your vest knows, hey, I've been touched by a defender. I need to activate, buzzers need to go off, and a light needs to go off. But if someone from your team accidentally touches you, or if you don't have the ball and someone touches you, it won't activate. It's smart. If you're a defender and you make that nice interception and you're running, well, yeah, the system does know you're on offense now. And if a defender comes and touches you, you will activate. So it's smart and it works. And we're excited about that innovation. We are a platform. So when we talk about what is interactive football, for the athlete, we're a platform for the athlete to be able to play this great game of football and express their athleticism like never before. We're excited about giving them that opportunity and do it in as safe as possible manner, right? So we're excited about that. We're also a platform for that coach or for those coaches who want to teach solid football fundamentals using our technology. We're excited about giving them that extra set of tools and that extra opportunity to even impact that student athlete's life even more. And then for that parent, we're a platform for that parent to say, I would love my child to play this great game of football, and I want them to be able to enjoy it. And I don't want to have to worry about it as a parent that they're going to get injured. And so when I look at, as a parent, the different forms of football they can play tackle, they can play flag, or they can play interactive. We want to give that parent just really good confidence that their child is going to enjoy this game of football, be safe, and really learn great fundamentals if they want to take that sport to the next level. So parents, we're excited to be that platform for you. We are also a platform for that entrepreneur. So that entrepreneur who's in some city in the US and says, I love sports, I love football, I'd love to have a career in it. Well, interactive football is here for you. You can bring interactive football to your community as an entrepreneur. Now, football is just where we're getting started. There's other sports we're going to be bringing online, and there's other opportunities to grow with what we're doing. So we are a platform for that athlete, that former athlete who says, I can't play, I don't want to play anymore, I really have to go and make some money and make a living, but I really want to stay in sports. Well, we're a platform to allow that person who wants to be an entrepreneur in the sports industry to become an entrepreneur. So we're excited about being a platform for that. But it doesn't stop there. We are also a platform to educate. One of the things that we always said about what we do at Interactive Football is that we're engaged and involved in the community. And that's not just words. We have a great opportunity to launch this awesome new innovative form of football, and we know it's going to be a great success. So why not invite students who can learn from this experience to be a part of this? And we've done that. So we've created what we call the Dream Team, and our Dream Team is awesome. They represent the awesome students in the Frisco ISD here in Frisco, Texas. We've got 14 highly motivated, highly talented students who are interested in entrepreneurship. So these are students, these are athletes, these are student athletes, and also folks or students who want to be entrepreneurs. And we're excited to give them this real world opportunity to learn more about marketing, to learn to take a company from an idea and a marketing strategy to executing that strategy so that we can execute our goals to build interactive football. So it's an educational platform also. Now, we did that here in Frisco. Every city that we launch interactive football in can have the same opportunity too. It's not just about making a living and gaining revenue. It's about teaching the next generation that you don't only have to be an athlete to be involved in sports. Matter of fact, you can have that much, if not more fun, being a different part of the sports industry. There's a lot of opportunities in jobs in sports, and we want to promote that as well. We believe in opportunities on the field, and we believe in opportunities off the field. Really excited about being an educational platform. So what do we do at Interactive Football in terms of what sports can you play or when can we play? Well, we offer 3 different forms of football. One is tournaments. We're going to be having tournaments here in Frisco and the North Dallas area soon as we can, right? With COVID and whatnot. Also leagues and camps. So we're structured in 3 ways. We offer leagues, tournaments, and camps. And those are going to be launching as soon as it's safe to launch in this particular market with COVID. Also, just wanted to make sure that I did mention, if you have questions, which I'm sure you do, please enter those questions in chat. You can enter in chat directly to me or to the group. I'll look at those when we get to the Q&A section, but I didn't want you to forget your question if you have one. So back to our tournament. So we have tournaments, leagues, and camps, and we're launching in 2 different geographies. We're launching here in Frisco, Texas, and we're also launching in the Washington, D.C. area. So those are the 2 markets that you're going to be seeing interactive football in. And also the third one, right, as soon as we can, is Your Town, USA. So you, that entrepreneur, you, that person who says, you know what, we need to have this in our market. Whether you want to be in business or whether you see your community needing this type of football so that, one, football can come back to your community, because some communities have closed down their football opportunity. We want to open that door back. And we also want to offer those who are concerned about safety a good opportunity to bring football to your markets too. So we are here to help grow the whole football industry, because we love all forms of football, whether it's tackle, whether it's flag, whether it's interactive. We want kids to be out there being healthy, playing all forms of football. So we're excited about our offering, and we're going to be launching that as soon as we can. Now, who's launching it? So we've got an awesome team. Our team is focused on product development. We're focused on our strong supplier network. We've got an awesome local and international supplier network that makes sure that our equipment, from the apparel part, the vests and the gloves and the football, to the technology, the modules and the programming and the coding in there on the circuitry, all that is figured out. So we've got a great supplier network. We've got a great product development team. We're involved in the community, because it's not just good to have a good product and service out there, but we're always focused on not just the athlete, that's our laser focus area, but everyone that we're impacting with interactive football. We want to make sure that experience is as awesome as it can be. That's the athlete, that's the coach, that's the parent, that's the fan, that's the retail, that's everyone involved. We want to make sure that when we engage them, that's a positive experience. And this team is bringing it to you. So with that, I'd like to open it up for questions. So if you have a question, you can definitely shoot that question in the chat box. And I will look at other questions that we've gotten through email. And I'll read a couple of those while we're waiting for some to be added to the chat. Okay, so the first question is, what is the cost of the equipment? The cost of each unit, and each unit would be 3 modules, 1 for the vest and 1 for each glove, and also having a vest and also having a ball, that is $275. And that's right in the range of an awesome price to pay for this type of football. Further, that is a cost that's broken down between the league and also the athlete. So usually, typically, the athlete's going to pay $125 and keep the gloves and the vest. And then the league is going to keep the modules, because the modules can be used in more than one game. And that would be something that the league would invest in. But overall, $275 puts the player on the field where they're having a great time playing interactive football. Okay. And the next question is, when will we be able to play interactive football, and what protocols will we have to address any COVID pandemic concerns? Well, there's 3 things that we're looking at. One is, what is the local, state, and government requirements in terms of procedures that say we can go out and play? So that's step 1. And we're also looking at the data and the facts. So those 3 pieces, what is the local government saying? What data and facts do we have about the COVID, whether it's transmitting or if the curve is going down? We want to make sure that when we come to the market and we get kids on the field of play, that we're keeping them as safe as possible. Further, we will have what we call our COVID protocols, or our post-pandemic protocols, to ensure that we have a process to make sure that when the kids are playing, before they play and after they play, that there's a process and procedures in place to keep them as safe as possible. That, at the end of the day, is the most important thing, which is why we're not playing sports right now. Until we can do that safely, and until we at Interactive Football have all the information and the ability to do that in a safe manner, we'll be on hold. But as soon as we are ready, and we will be ready, we'll be ready to go out there and make sure that we're having a lot of fun and the kids are playing. See if we have any questions. Panel. 1 second. Let's see. Q&A. All right. Chat. All right. All right. Another question is, will this technology only for 7-on-7, 5-on-5, or can 11 people play like regular football? We are similar to what you see with 7-on-7, 5-on-5, or any form of flag football. So our equipment is not yet designed for the tackle football type where you have tackles and guards and the heavier players. It's more for the agility players. So we're talking about running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers. We are also developing opportunities to see how that we can use our technology in other areas so that the other types of athletes who play football can engage and enjoy this game of interactive football also. So great question. All right, the other question we have is this equipment safety tested? And yes, our equipment has been certified by a third-party certification. So our technology, specifically around the brains, because that houses all the electronics, that has been tested to ensure that the power rating and the enclosure are safe, so that that does not cause any safety or harm. Further, the equipment communicates wirelessly, so we also had it tested to make sure there's no wireless interference that's an issue. So our technology, again, is beautiful because it's wireless and tech. We did make sure that it's tested because our foundation, as we talked about, is on the athlete, and it's about safety. So we've ensured that we're making sure those are done correctly. So we'll wait one more minute, see if we have any more questions, and let's see, I think we might have one more. Let's see. What is the age difference and age requirements for the leagues? Great question. So the age difference in the requirements for the leagues, we're looking at the age groups of between 8 and 9, all the way up to 14 or 13. So we're looking at elementary school to middle school, and the leagues will be built basically on demand. So when we open up our registration, based on how many kids register at each age group is really going to define how many different age groups that we're going to have. But our equipment, in terms of what we have in terms of inventory, is from a 9-year-old, so a pretty small kid, all the way up to a 13, 14-year-old, actually to adult size. So we'll be able to make sure all levels have the opportunity to play interactive football. The last item we wanted to go through, we don't have any additional questions, and definitely feel free to email me any questions that you might have. And the information where you can email me is at kevin.thompson@isportsg.com, or you can reach us at any one of our social media platforms. We have our website at interactive-football.com. You can go to Facebook or Instagram, and since you all are on the webinar here, I'm sure you already know how to contact us. So appreciate you joining the webinar. Last item wanted to cover is our next webinar series. So we've got our webinar number 2, which is going to be awesome. That is this Thursday at 6:30 Central Time. We've got an awesome panel of former players, coaches, and student athletes, as well as parents, and a female football player who plays professionally. And we're going to have them on to talk about their experience with interactive football. So each of these panelists were given 2 units during this COVID. We can't, play in big groups, but they were given 2 units, an offensive unit and a defensive unit, to play or to test out to see and experience how the equipment feels and how it responds. And we're going to have an opportunity to get their feedback from their unique perspective of what they think about our technology, what they think about the equipment, and we're going to hear together, their feedback. So we're excited about having them talk about their experience in interactive football. Further, we're going to have another panel discussion, or not a panel, excuse me, a webinar on the 26th. That's next Tuesday, the 26th, a week from today. That is going to discuss how to use our technology to teach science, technology, education, and math, or engineering and math, STEM, right? So how do we use our technology to teach them to make science and technology, engineering, and math fun, And also we'll talk about how to use our technology and our equipment to teach solid football fundamentals. So those are key two pillars that we have, education and athleticism. So we're going to be talking about those things in our third webinar series. So hope you can join us. So with that, wanted to thank you for taking your time out of the day to join us for our first ever webinar. Hopefully you got great information and you understand more about interactive football and where we're going and what we're doing. And please join us on Thursday for our next session. Thanks again and have a great rest of the day.